Hi, I'm Masha. I have absolutely no idea who I'm recording this for, who's going to see this video, but I decided to document living abroad with my husband and our 11-year-old tabby cat. We moved to Spain a little less than a week ago, and it's kind of surreal, say that out loud, since this move was a few years in the making. Not a permanent move, but a move just to kind of see how it feels to live outside of America, in the comfort of obviously a lot of savings and planning for it. So I'm just going to be sharing a few things and really just kind of showing how some of that life is like here. Gonna try not to glamorize a lot of things, but I think there will be a lot of pros and cons, things that we'll learn along the way. I'm also going to share just a little bit of how it happened and how we were able to get here and do a little bit more of a permanent year-long situation that is not necessarily as straightforward as it might seem. So follow along. I'll keep sharing if anyone cares, if anyone's here. Bye.
Hi, I've lived in Spain the last 3 years as a U.S. passport holder. So I graduated from university in 2017. I did not have a full-time job lined up, so I was doing a lot of freelance work, internships, things like that. And I gave myself 1 year and said, by a year, if I did not have a full-time job, and if you're not American, that means with benefits, health care, all of that, and I was going to move to Spain. And that's what I did. And I'm sure you're thinking it could not be that easy. And for the most part, I would say it was that easy. So I did the language assistant program through the Spanish government, which allows you to work 12 or 16 hours a week, depending on where you're based in the country. And you work with kids and sometimes even adults, whether you're with small children, like high school, teenage kids, or adults at language schools or vocational schools, working and helping them improve their English. And if you are Canadian or American, you need at least 2 years of university, a passport, and a clean background check, and that's all you need. Pretty much, I gathered my documents, I submitted them, I waited to get my placement, then went to go apply for my visa, moved to Spain, and it was like pretty simple because I had already been working with the plan of like my backup plan to save money, but also saving in case I moved to another city as well. So I already had some money in savings. The biggest thing was just the little minutia of stuff and telling everyone, I'm moving to Spain, I'm moving to Spain, I'm moving to Spain. And I was there for 3 years and I've loved it so much. It changed me in so many different ways. And if you're thinking about moving to Spain or just leaving the country and looking for a way to do it, I would definitely recommend this program. The applications open up for the next school year, not the upcoming one, but for 2022, 2023 in January. So you could start like collecting your documents and things right now. And if you want me to make another video about that, let me know and I'll go through it. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you a bit more insight on how I wound up in Spain for the last 3 years and what I was doing there. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys.
I'm an American mom living in Spain, and one of the hardest things that I've had to get used to: schedule. In Spain, there's some sort of unwritten schedule that everyone and all kids follow. In the US, most families base their schedule off of what works best for their family. In Spain, it's like that, but to an extent. In Spain, there's this unwritten schedule for kids and for parents. You wake up in the morning, kids wake up when they wake up, they have about an hour at home, and then around 11:30 you head to the park or to run an errand. You stay at the park or running that errand until 1:30, and it's time for lunch. Lunch is from about 1:30 to 3, depending on how old the kids are or what's going on that day. Generally, you finish eating at 3:30 or 4 when kids take their siesta or their naps. Once they wake up from siesta, it's time for snack and for playtime around the house, and that's generally from the time 5 o'clock till 6:30 or 7. At that point, it's time for the afternoon activity. Afternoon activities are from about 7 until 9. You come home, it's time for a bath, always before dinner and bedtime. This has been one of the harder things for me to get used to as a mom living here in Spain. You might just ask, well then why don't you follow your own schedule? But if I did things differently, then my kids would have no one to play with. If I set up a play date at 3 p.m., it would be like, what's wrong with you? Honestly, I'm now really thankful for that schedule and for the structure, and compared to what felt sometimes like a free-for-all in the US, something that I really had to get used to, and I had to adjust to what life is like here.
One thing I love, and it's so different from America, they actually clean their streets every day.
I'm an American who left everything behind and came and moved to Spain. And I have one huge regret. And the biggest regret that I have is not having done this sooner. Don't hesitate. Don't listen to those thoughts of fear and doubts that you may have. If you're able to do it, it's something that you've been wanting to do, make that move, because you will not regret it. The only thing you're going to regret is waiting and not having done it sooner. It's just life-changing. So don't hesitate. Listen to your gut. Of course, as long as you're able to do it, you won't regret it. So I'm loving it. I'm having an amazing time. I'm blessed, and just wish I would have done it sooner. But it's never too late. Go for your dreams, make them come true, because life is only one. So make sure to go for it.
Can I get vulnerable with you real quick about the struggles I've been dealing with as an American living in Spain? Come on, let's talk. I do gotta tell you that the pros definitely outweigh the cons, but I never want to come on here and make it seem like this lifestyle is perfect, because it's not. I've been through some things. I'm just gonna tell you the 3 biggest struggles I have been dealing with as an American living in Spain. For one, there is no work ethic in Spain. The quality of the services that I have experienced have been super low. The workers do not like to work. I think it bothers me so much because I'm from New York. I was born and raised in the hustle and bustle, and hustle culture was the core of my identity most of my 20s. It could also be that I just have a high standard for everything and everyone around me, and Spain has constantly been disappointing me when it comes to the services. I just have to remember that I moved there for the lifestyle and to get away from hustle culture forever. It still bothers me though. Number 2, and I get this question a lot, how do the people in Spain treat people of color? I'm gonna be real with you on this one. I'm Dominican, I'm Afro-Latina, and I speak Spanish. The fact that I speak Spanish definitely helps, but I must say that the locals of Spain have treated me with the utmost respect. They're super kind and friendly. Then there are some that have not been welcoming at all. I have gotten in a couple of arguments with like taxi drivers, neighbors. Some people have just been extremely rude and unfriendly to me, my boyfriend, and even my dog. I didn't realize it when I was living there. It took me leaving for me to realize that I was going through. In Croatia right now, as Croatia has set a high bar. The third thing, and I have to throw this in there, because I own 2 real estate companies and my clients are investors, builders. I've personally designed and flipped homes back in the US, been around and lived in multi-million-dollar homes, have witnessed the projects of new construction. I've lived in 2 short-term apartments in Spain, and I would give it a 5 to 6 out of 10. I've lived in like the nicest apartments in the nicest areas. The price just is not worth it to me, and the structure looks like shit. It's been really hard to find a home to call ours in Spain because I hate them all. This is why I'm living the digital nomad lifestyle. It's one of the benefits of having the digital nomad visa is even though I am a resident of Spain, I can live anywhere in the EU. This is exactly why I teach my clients to start with phase 1 of the digital nomad lifestyle before elevating to the next phases, so that way you don't commit to one location. You can live in different countries for 90 days at a time with no visa. That way you can see which country aligns with your soul. I break this all down in my playbook, and I'm giving it to you for free. Just comment playbook below and I'll send it to you.
Yeah? Okay, this is the first thing you're going to do. I moved to Spain from the US, from Miami, with my husband, our daughter, and our dog. On year 2 of living here in Spain, we just renewed our visa, so I got you. Okay, so first you want to decide which visa is the right for you. And there are several options to choose. The most common one is the non-lucrative visa or the nomad visa. I can go into details of all the different options in a different video because it is a lot of information and different requirements depending on the visa that you apply for. Once you've decided what visa are you going to apply for, you're going to gather all of the documents that you're going to submit to the Spanish consulate with your application. And this is the most crucial part, because if you have any documents missing or something's incomplete, you can get denied and the process will take a lot longer as well. Then once you submit your application to the Spanish consulate, you have to wait. And then there's a million other things to do. That's why we decided to just write a guide. It's 110 pages long with all of the information that you need, step-by-step guidance from start to finish. I have the link in my bio, and please leave me a comment. If you have any other questions, you can always send me a message. Welcome to my page. I'm Lisa, and I will be posting a lot more content here about life in Spain.
If you're an African American woman thinking about moving to Spain, I'm going to share my experience with you so far. I've been here for a year, so you know what to expect. There are definitely a few things that I hadn't thought about at all before moving here. First thing first, let's address the number one concern, racism. I personally have never felt discriminated against, met a racist person in Spain. Everybody has been absolutely sweet and welcoming, whether it's at work or making friends, any type of setting, going grocery shopping, whatever it is. I have never had a problem yet. That being said, I'm not saying that there's no racism in Spain. It's possible, but I lived in France for 17 years, in the US for 12 years, and I felt way more racism in those two countries than here. Something that I've never thought about though before moving here, the fact that I was just gonna miss black people. Like, I don't know how else to put it. I just miss black people. I just went back to the US about a month ago or so, and when I landed in Boston, it was black people everywhere at the airport. I was just so happy to see people that look like me. So if you don't really feel comfortable around people that don't look like you, because Spain is mostly, at least where I live, is mostly white. I live in Malaga. It's gonna be difficult for you. So one thing to think about. So of course, because there are not many black people, the services for black people are very limited. I don't think there's any beauty supply store. Products that you're gonna have are gonna be very limited. Another thing is you are going to get looks, because obviously you don't look like most of the people that live here, so you're gonna attract the eye. So if you're not comfortable standing out, it's not for you. Overall, my experience has been super positive so far. I don't regret at all moving. You just kind of have to adapt if you want to make it work also, because it is a new environment. I think it's an amazing country. Their values and their priorities are so different. You know, it's based on community and family and really living life instead of just work, and then when you have time, you enjoy it. It's completely the other way around. I hope this can help anybody who's thinking about making a move. Bye, y'all.